You know, yeah, you named him 23 minutes after our achievement. I was gonna name my son 23 seconds after my achievement as well, because I also broke a record, but
Wow.
we decided not to. So anyway, let's back to the draft.
back to
Back to
Toto.
work.
And then Polaris, they have decided to go for a Snapfire there as their third hero. Yeah, I think that's pretty safe to say that's going to be the position 4 support, right? Or maybe the 5.
But works for well with both. And I like the pairing with the Marcy. You also get a lot of extra mobility with these two heroes. The Cookie as well as the Dispose works pretty well. Rubik is a nice position 4 to have against the Snapfire, just because everything the Snapfire has is good. Little Shredder not so much, but she rarely uses it anyway. It's usually maxed out like way later. Good spells from Death Prophet. You can get the Crypt Swarm or the Exo. And if you can steal the sidekick from the Marcy, you can put that on someone else, and that's going to be Akashi's hero. So I am feeling like it's going to be the mid-death Prophet and the offlane Marcy coming out. And Lifesteal is going to be positioned as going to be the carry.
Yeah, for sure. So just leave him their final support then, I guess, is the last pick. Yeah, not something you see all too often, but yeah, we'll see if they're able to pick a particularly great one to flip this draft around, or at least just gain like a nice top league, because they do also have overall last pick of the entire draft as well. So it's a nice bonus to have. Meanwhile, for now, you know, does it feel pretty obvious they're just looking for their carry as well?
Yes, I mean there's no other option for them. Let's see, what would Gabby play? Monkey King and Terrorblade were two heroes he really looked good in yesterday. So those are options that I'm thinking about. I love the Terrorblade versus Lifestealer matchup. I think that, you know, you could just shred him later on in the game, and it's pretty good for you. Polaris, they could have both of their supports with a Snapfire Marcy. That's the thing, right? Marcy is just very flexible. I'm feeling like it's going to be an off lane, but could go the other way around for them. And the fact they have overlost pick, they can decide that, like, do we want Marcy off lane? Do we want Death Prophet off lane? Do we want to pick Marcy? Like, it could be Marcy support, Death Prophet off lane. We pick a mid, and you can see Fnatic. They are taking their time thinking about what they're going to go against.
Yeah, and Dux is the hero of choice. Okay. Well, I suppose it can be quite a nasty combo. Vacuum everyone in, and there's a rebound from Marcy, just stuns everyone. Then Mortimer's Kiss is coming on top. Like, yeah, it does make sense to remove it in that regard.
What's left for Polaris? I'm not gonna think about Fnatic's carry first. Like I said, I think I like the Terrorblade the most. High armor, doesn't really care too much about what the Lifestealer, just can shred everyone. Early game's a little annoying. And there is a possibility they go for the Zeus on Polaris. You know, they just maybe put the Death Prophet offlane, pick a Zeus. What did they go with? They go with the Monkey King. Alright, it was Monkey King or Terrorblade. I felt like they were going to go for one or the other. And I like the combination of the Crystal Maiden. I think it's overall a solid lane. Whether it's going to be against the Marcy or the Death Prophet, you're going to be doing pretty well. Maybe Polaris will consider putting the Snapfire on 4. And picking the Marcy as the off lane, just because you want to get that extra mobility, the Cookie as well as the rebound, so you can get away from the Monkey King. And they might just pick another support here. We'll see.
Yeah, that definitely makes good sense. You know, try and create a bit of distance away from the Monkey to stop him getting those Jingu stacks online, and yeah, potentially, you know, just avoid him taking a dominating lead in the start of the laning phase. But I mean, they got tons of reserve time here, 48 seconds to work with for Polaris. Do you think maybe they might try and pick a hero which can, you know, set up for the Mortimer's Kisses a bit more? Like perhaps Magnus, do you think? Could be kind of a... That's it. Oh no, Invoker.
Hey, interesting. They go for the Invoker. Alright.
Invoker,
yeah. So it's going to be probably... Choice. Yeah, it's going to be the support... there's going to be the support Marcy, CML the Snapfire. They have a lot of good damage, but they have no way of locking the enemy down. Like, if the enemy runs away, there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? Like, they got maybe the Marcy for chase, but you pop the Exorcism, Lifesteal Invoker, they charge in, the enemy can still just sort of run away. Fnatic, they have a Primal Beast and a Bat Rider, keep it feels like they have more control and more ways to engage. I like Fnatic's drive. I think Fnatic's going to take game 1.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it as well. Just a bit more well-rounded draft, got clear sort of ways of engaging, good damage output. Yeah, I do quite like it. Yeah, I think your camera went again in the end. Or is he... Have you got all together? He's gone again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back to being on my own for now. Oh, dear. The internet is just not looking too hot at Otomo's house. Which, you know, it does happen. I had my internet sort of messed up 2 days ago, I think. Like, just died midstream. Luckily, it was just for 5 minutes. Eventually, it came back. But, technical issues, they do happen. But regardless, it won't be long before he returns, I'm sure. But yeah, looking at this draft, I think I will disagree with Otomo. I think it's pretty safe going to be Fnatic on this one. I mean, there is definitely a chance that Polaris could win it. With the caching on the life stealer, just going inside the Marcy and just the charge forwards. Maybe even with CML eventually getting an Aghanim Scepter and just gobbling up, spitting them in. It's a further way of engaging. You deliver 2 heroes straight to the front lines and, potentially just pick off Januel or DJ before they can even react, which could be very, very nice. Yeah, we will see how the game actually does end up going down, though. And, yeah. I think so. Oh, yeah, it should be Fnatic. It should be Fnatic. I'm going to move on into the game. We're dropping all the memes. Oh, poor old Otomo. Poor old Otomo. See how long it takes for his internet to recover this time. But hey, having the longest first blood time in Dota 2 history, that's pretty legit. I'm not gonna lie. That is very, very nice. I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that. Especially the first tournament show. Get a little record on there. It's probably the worst record to have, but it's fine. It's not too bad. But let's see if any sort of first blood play is going to come out. Doesn't look like it. Once again, everyone just split in. Going to set up to go for the 2-for-2 bounties standard trades. Let's get down some observer wards. And obviously one already getting placed on the Dire side, or the Radiant side there from the Dire squad, but probably going to go uncounted for now. And then just a casual pause. Gabby, clearly he is lagging. One of the community's favourites, unfortunately, not even going to be in this game. How very sad. So it would be the mid matchup of Invoker versus the Batrider, which I believe is... I feel like it's kind of skill-based in this situation. Obviously, there's going to be the EMP Tornado always coming out, so Armel's going to be struggling for mana to keep sustained with the sticky napalm spam, but every single time that Armel attempts to go for a kill with the Firefly, there's multiple skills that Matt can do. You can even just turn invis and just try and walk it off. So, yeah, I feel like it should be kind of even right now, unless there's going to be some particularly devious ganks coming in from both the supports on either side. And then we might be able to get that first blood on the go. Only time will tell, of course. He's back!
Oh, thank God.
I think not.
So it looks like I didn't miss anything. Literally just the pause happened, that's it.
Yeah, like Gabby knew you were gone, so he very kindly broke his own internet and disconnected.
I like that. That's so nice of them. When they do it like that way. But yeah, unfortunately, the worst bit thing is that I have to settle a move. I got the BTS offer as well as bet move at the same time as I had to move house. So they're like in between. So now everything's still being set up, and I apologize for my issues, guys. I know it's not fun. I apologize to you as well. Not the easiest thing to work with.
That's all right. It makes a little bit of a challenge, which is all good. But regardless, you're here now, so it doesn't even matter. Not anything lost whatsoever. Luckily, again, the little cheeky pause. Gabby knew you were gone.
Oh, so what do you think? Do you think Polaris can take it, or do you agree that Fnatic seems to have a slightly better draft?
Yeah, I agree with you on Fnatic. I think they should be able to run away. Like, they got decent ways of taking fights, good frontliner, good way of reaching the back lines. Yeah, I feel they should eventually be able to bring it down. But I sort of think, like, maybe eventually, when CML manages to get his own Ags online, we could see an infested Marcy getting gobbled up and CML just firing them both straight on top of, like, DJ or Januel's face, and yeah, just easily pick off the supports that way. But obviously, it's a support Snapfire trying to build now, because it's a long ways away.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, maybe she'll get it from, like, the 4th Roshan, right? Like, the 3rd one drops, Nagian's blessing, someone else takes it, and the 4th one's like, all right, I suppose we're going to give it. And, my savior, Gabby, he has returned. Well, what a nice guy. Just disconnects when I disconnect. Maybe he's using the same internet company as I am. And,
Maybe.
Actually, the internet's affecting a lot of people because Southeast Asia, the DPC, they contacted me. They said, can you work with us on the DPC today? I told them why. They're like, oh, one of our casters is having internet issues, so can you fill it? I was like, dude, I'm having internet issues. And
Yeah, there seems to be a whole region problem going on. It's very
no,
unfortunate.
This pleases the massacre.
Hopefully, it's a problem they get fixed eventually. Like, is it at least like sort of fiber, or is it just normal broadband? Or he's gone again. Never mind. The question shan't get answered because he's DC'd. Oh dear me, poor old Otomo. You know, there is nothing worse than having bad internet. Like I've always said, I can live anywhere. I can live in a box with not even a window, as long as if the internet is good. If it's got trash internet, don't care, mate. Even if it's like a fancy ass mansion, 10 bedrooms, hot tub, swimming pool, a little race course out back, all that, don't care. And it needs good internet. Always going to be a top priority, and unfortunately for Otomo, he is getting punished quite hard for that one. You know, we'll see. I'll have to resume the solo casting from the first series and see how this ends up going down. But with Akashi on the Lifestealer versus KP's Primal Beast, I feel like Akashi should have a fine time. Even just running at DJ, get a few right clicks here and there. It's going to be kind of difficult for them to try and step up and fight up against the Lifestealer. Yeah, normally in Lifestealer lanes, they just ignore rage altogether. It's like one of the last abilities they want to level up. It doesn't really help them increase their farming speed. But versus the Primal Beast, it's going to be kind of important. And what the hell? I missed that, but somehow Armel actually gets the first blood in the mid lane against the Invoker. I have absolutely no idea how he was able to pull that one off. Could just be a bit of a misplay coming out there from Mac more than anything else. And as a result, we pretty much see an entire level advantage now into the favor of Armel. He could potentially use that to devastate an effect. You know, guys level 3, 2 points down to Napalm. And Matt could start to get bullied really hard, especially now a bottle also coming in for Armel. So he's going to be able to regen up before the 2-minute water rune spawn. And yeah, very, very nice start for the bat. You're up top, Bok was getting beaten into, but nice little dispose there from Jing, making the space for his position 3 to disengage. And yeah, again, likewise, Gabby should be perfectly fine up top. Obviously, the Death Prophet's all to be annoying to get on top of him with the Spirit Siphon to heal up. So you've got like the heals from Spirit Siphon versus Jingu, and I think the Spirit Siphon still ends up winning that one.
hola.
He's back again. Hello.
For now.
For now. You know, the chat seems to be very invested in betting on the outcome of games. Maybe we can bet to see how long your internet will last.
Thanks, man. That makes me feel better.
Sorry, friend.
Not like this is my job, and this is reflecting very badly on me right now.
No, it's all right. We make through, we get through it. It's all good. I mean, again, you know, we might get another game with very little kills, and it doesn't matter.
Well, that's not gonna happen. We already broke one record. I don't think we can. We're not gonna break it again today. We already have one kill.
Yeah, true. Maybe we now can get the most kills in 23 minutes. I don't. Lord knows what that number is. That's probably astronomical.
Well, in the meantime, it seems like it's a very even laning phase all across. I did see Armel was able to get a first blood against Mac, which is kind of crazy. Mac, he wants to go for the urn, but that's gonna be severely delayed because of that.
Yeah, I think he got it. I think Armel literally just hit level 2 whilst Mac was level 1, and he was able to run him down apparently under the tower. Like, I was looking somewhere else. I was not expecting a kill in the mid lane that early, but you get lost on that one. Down on the bot, CML into real danger. Just stampede from KP, just keeping pace, and CML gets brought down. Akashi trying to trade away there onto DJ. It's a slow old Rubik, and eventually should be brought down. Less KP, yeah. He was going to put his body in the way to get the blocks in. Not even necessary.
No way. He already had the Fairy Fire as well as the Magic Stick, and ooh, top lane.
Yeah, Jin getting brought down there. Maybe a little bit of overextension. Bot going to try and turn around with the Spirit Siphon, but nicely timed there. Gabby could not get the Jingu stacks online fast enough. A very nice read of, on Bok to do that. Not many people have the commitment or the balls to try and go for something as risky.
I don't think Gabby would have gotten it either way. Like, he would have gotten out, even if he had the is he didn't have the amount of his bounce cycle was on cooldown. Even if he got a couple of hits off, there's still a Spirit Siphon and auto attacks coming out. Would have been too much. So nice move by Bok getting them on the board. CML suffering again.
Yeah, he's potentially caught out right now. Wants to get the kill onto DJ, or at least grab it off the Ancients. Okay, so the Ancients killed DJ first, so CML, he doesn't get any money, but he still gets the experience, right?
I think the experience is denied or something, or it's reduced. I'm not quite sure, but it's fine. Either way, it's not exactly the kill that you want to get. You don't get a kill out of it. There's no real benefit for CML.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not quite sure what he was even doing there. Well, I guess he was trying to get the blocks onto the Ancient camp, stop any further stacks, but I guess he just ends up getting caught out, wrong place, wrong time. DJ does TP in mid to fill up Armel's bottle.
Jing.
Oh, also in some danger. Bound strike cancelled there from Gabby, and he doesn't actually want to try and chase after him. We'll let him go. Even still, 27 and 8 there for Akashi at the top, pretty much tying with the mid back rider as well. So it seems like majority of the cores will all do well. KP is at the bottom, but not by a huge margin in all respects. Pretty close to the Bok, the counterpart position 3.
Yeah, the big winner so far seems to be Armel's Bat Rider. You know, he is doing a really good job against Mac. Mac, he does have the urn finished up, but it's really not going to give you much value until you get at least one kill on the board. So that's kind of the problem with this build. He's going for a Blitz Knuckle. Is he going to go, was it a Witchblade or something?
Could be. I think that was in the meta at one point of Invokers getting the Witchblade up, but not this time. Now, as it looks at mid there, I think that's the third EMP now I've seen Mac unable to get the connection onto Armel. So this Bat Rider's has always got mana to play with, and yeah, it's really freely running over this lane right now. Yeah, 34 to 8 compared to Mac's 26 and 3. Not a huge rift there, but bit by bit he is building the lead, and he's actually now just going to take this. Is that quad stack or is that triple? I think it's a quad stack, isn't it?
Okay, I see. It's a quad. I see 1 Centaur, 2 Tomatoes, and a Satyr. And CML gets 1, but might lose his life because of it.
You got to be careful. Mac is actually here to back up his support. Gonna try and go onto DJ. Tornado does land. Cookie nicely timed as well. That should be a dead DJ. As even Jinx getting involved, but KP getting involved. Charge forwards, lands on the 2 of them. This could be devastating right now. Obviously, CML's already dead. They're going to use a Flame and Lasso on towards Mac. Nice use the onslaught from KP to slow them all down, but regardless, they're not going to be able to find the kill onto Mac, and the Primal Beast will die. At the same time up top, Bok also got a 1 versus 2 solo kill on towards the Monkey King before he dropped as well.
Yeah, he also was able to get a kill, so I think that's fine for them, right? They were able. It's not so bad for them. Fnatic, they're okay with this trade, right? They were able to bring people. They protected their stack overall. It's not too bad. Polaris, though, they are starting to take a bit of a desperate advantage. Oh, losing Armel here is going to be tough.
That is really tough. Just the supports to the side of Polaris not falling back. Just lured Armel into full sense of security, and yeah, easy peasy kill pickup once again. And that is exactly what Mac needed. You know, after suffering that solo kill in the early parts, it definitely allowed Armel to build up a decent lead. But just like that, it has been shut down. And now you can make a rotation towards the top himself. See if they can find anyone. Januel is there, but nice little freezing time lets him disengage. But Polaris can keep chasing regardless. Even X commits. They want to bring down the tower as well if they possibly can. Gabby's probably just going to be forced to run away.
Still interested to see if Mac goes for the Witchblade or for the Orchids. You know, both of them are options for the Blitz Knuckle. Highly doubt he's going to go for the other 2 options, neither the MKB or the Shadow Blade. But yeah, some invokers, like I said, they go for Witchblade mid lane though. Okay, Armel.
Thought about trying to go on there for CML, but does decide to change his mind. In regards though, the tier 1 tower top does still fall down. So a bit of extra space there for Polaris to work with. If they wanted to move the lifestealer up there earlier, they could do, but to be honest, Akashi doesn't need to move at all. He's top of CS, he's happily chilling down here, getting all the kills he wants in the world. And yeah, as a result, 4.2k net worth, nearly a full 1,000 ahead of Gabby at just 8.5 minutes in.
It's a little scary right now if you're Polaris, because not only, I mean, sorry, like it's scary for Fnatic. Polaris, they can take towers much easier than Fnatic early game, and they're coming and they're winning the laning stage as well. Despite Armel getting a solo first blood, this is it's a little scary. You do have some good stuff on Fnatic, right? You have stacks that they're going to be taking right now. Armel as well as KP. KP just gets I think a double stack. Armel is going to go for this triple. That's going to help him out quite a bit to recover. Gabby,
Definitely enough.
there's ready. It looks like they want to go for him, but he's
think
very
so.
wise. Yeah, he's very
He
wise
does,
to it.
yeah. That's some good game sense right there to realise. Hang about, there's quite a few people missing on the map. Even though he was by his tier 2, it was a good read to fall back in that position, yeah. Could have been a nasty pick-off if he got caught out. But it looks like Fnatic are going to attempt a little play of their own. Got this smoke onto 2, just Januel there. So the Observer Ward spots out 2, but obviously not DJ and Armel. And it looks like Box in some real danger right now. With the Otomo toy forwards, going to use the Flame and Lasso as well. There's all the lockdown. Spirit Siphons are coming out from Bok. Is it enough to stay alive? For a little bit longer, but all it does is delay the inevitable. That's a very nice kill to find.
Much needed. Much needed. Fnatic, they gotta start getting a little bit more out of that. One thing that's nice for them though is that DJ has been farming really well as Rubik. 1,000 gold more than his nearest counterpart, and so what if John wasn't farming? He's he's a Crystal Maiden. He doesn't deserve to have farm. That's just how the hero works.
Yeah, I mean the most farm you can expect on that is just occasionally frostbiting a jungle creep as you're walking by. That's
what
about
he's
all you're
doing.
ever gonna get. Yeah.
He gets the big
So
one.
sad.
That's pretty greedy. He's like, I want the big Satyr. I want the. Oh, look at that mid lane Polaris. They are committing for this.
Yeah, Exism already dropped with the Catapult wave as well. And let's see what they're going to do. Obviously, already glyphing up the Catapult. Want to keep it alive for as long as possible. Creeps coming in, but someone's going to tank the hits. Ooh, a little bit of mistime in there. So the Catapult does fall down. And with that gone, do Fnatic want to actually start bringing the numbers in to defend it? There's 4 people from Polaris all nearby, waiting to sort of respond to any play Fnatic might make, but it's literally just the Rubik here. No one else is getting involved. And there should be the tier 1 tower falling.
Without KP there to absorb the hits, there's no way they can defend it. KP is actually going for the mech on the Primal Beast. A bit unusual. Sometimes we see like, the phase boots Windlace into something like a Sanjin Kaya, maybe an Aghanim Scepter, a Shard BKB, stuff like that. This is an unusual hero to go for auras on the Primal Beast.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit more of a unique style of playing the hero. We'll see how it does end up working out. Do you think he will just stop there on the aura builds, or do you think he might try and commit for some other main aura items? Talking about that, and Januel is dead, so he's surviving now. The actual mechanism coming in there from KP to keep him alive, but it might have just delayed him long enough for CML to get the kill. Matt getting tossed off to the side, but no one going to get brought down there in response. So yeah, Januel does still die regardless of that little heal coming in last second.
I'm trying to think of what's good to dispel in this game if you go for the Guardian Greaves. It's like Cold Snap and the Vessel would be pretty good. Oh, and this is going to be the Witchblade on the Invoker, so did not go for the Orchid. And this is nice. The damage instances with the Cold Snap really add up. It's another way of, if you don't have Earn Charge, you can still trigger it. Jing, he's hasted. Armel can't catch him, even with the Boots of Travel.
Yeah. I find it funny as well how the Marcy model literally does the anime run when she's
Yes.
got haste. Like arms behind and everything. All you need is like some sort of proper classic anime intro music playing and it would just look great.
Like cutscenes of 2 characters back to back against each other. They're like those the two. The protagonist and his best friend / enemy, something like that. Maybe a glass separating them with their hands reaching out. All the good stuff.
All the good stuff. But back, he's got the opening there on towards DJ. Morgankiss is also ready and trying to spread the damage. Immediately, Januel and Armel get on top of CML to avoid that damage, but still, he's not going to try and fall back. Even the involvement of the Primal Beast, and what a fantastic turnaround coming out from Fnatic. They lose DJ, but what an absolute clapdown, bringing down those 3 members of Polaris.
And John he reached level 6 and that fight goes in, gets the Frostbite on the Snapfire to cut it off, and then that was a great ultimate. That very interesting choke point, right? Where it's like you can't go down the stairs, you have to go all the way to the left. Polaris were not able to, that was a really unfortunate situation for them. Finally, Fnatic, for the first time, they have the slight net worth advantage. But the question is, I like the Terrorblade versus the Lifestealer matchup. Monkey King against Lifestealer, I still feel like it favors the Monkey King, but not as much, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. It's a little bit more wiggle room there for Akashi to work with, but yeah, even still, standing toe-to-toe. I mean, inside the Wukong's command, sure. If it's outside of that ultimate, maybe Akashi can actually end up winning that trade.
Maybe, right? It's also like you're up against the massive lifesteal. I mean, you have lifesteal, but he has lifesteal as well. He's going for Battlefield on Gabby, so he just wants to focus on farming. Might need to be careful. He does spot Bach in the area with that ward, so he knows exactly how long to be in the lane. Just jumps out. I gotta say, I love how mobile Monkey King is with the jump. It's such a nice thing to have.
Yeah. I still think Monkey King might be the one hero I've never actually played in Dota.
Why not?
I don't know. I've just never actually tried. I mean, I think since he came out, I'd like switched to just dedicated support, so I don't really play any cores, and he's just one of those supports I've not actually tried yet. But I should really. It is quite fun, a lot of the stuff he could do. Yeah, just never gotten around to it.
He's a very fun support, but the problem is that he's a bit of a griefy kind of support. You really have to have an offlaner. Firstly, you can't play him as a 5. You have to have an offlaner. You have to be up against like melee heroes. The guy has to be very independent as well. It's a very greedy position and I only see very specialized people do it. And like Tim's was on the enemy side. Sorry, wasn't in this game.
Yeah. You never know, might get treated to eventually in this series. Could happen. Armel. Charger falls there with the Firefly, but still no Blink Dagger right now to get on top of everybody. And slow from the Scatter Blast, keeping him at bay, but still Armel
nice
not really
timing.
caring. He's just charging forwards. In comes the Meteor as well. There's a stolen one from DJ, and there's going to be the Flame and Lasso. Charge through some KP, but good land from Jing, trying to make some space, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Down goes Death Prophet. Jing just losing his life on top of everything else. So another couple of kills there from Fnatic, but despite the fact that they have 5 more kills in total, it's still only a 1k gold advantage.
Gosh, he's just been farming up a storm, but I gotta commend Armel. That was amazing the way he timed the flame break to make sure that the enemy can't get away from him like that. Very impressive. Thanks to that they were able to get the kill.
Very close. 2k gold advantage built up. Oh, Akashi. He's just running in with his little life stealer army, gonna send them in.
By the way, Rubik's got the Crypt Swarm stolen, so Crypt Swarm and Fade Ball, he's just gonna go and be able to farm creeps super easy. It's a lot of fun when you have these sort of abilities on the Rubik. And that's one of the reasons why he's almost 2,000 gold ahead of CML. Armel, is he gonna be in trouble? He's fast, Windlace, and looks like they spot him, but can they catch him?
Yeah, there is gonna be. Even the Mormon's Kisses gets come in. What a guarantee that Bat Rider is dead for sure. And gone for 40 seconds, and that is going to be their cue to move straight into the Roche pit. CMO also getting a D-ward there from the high ground, so vision control plus the damage, Exorcism getting popped. Want to make sure that they get this Roshan before there's any sort of chance Fnatic can defend it.
Yeah, a little unfortunate for Armel, but he was able to buy his Mithril Hammer, so he didn't actually lose much gold from that death. Either way though, it's a nice move for Polaris. Akashi is going to have his Aegis. Doesn't seem like Fnatic was even interested in shutting him down. So I think they're content with farming. They don't mind going late game against this lifesteal as long as they're not too far behind gold. They're not. They're ahead actually.
Just a bit, yeah. Even though it's the 3 cores pretty high up there on the chart on side Fnatic, it is still that lifesteal at the top. But yeah, like you were saying, it's very, very close. Just 300 gold separating him and Gabby. Which, to be honest, is pretty good, considering the fact that the Monkey King has a lot more maneuverability to get between camps, and he has the bonus of the Battle Fury. So, yeah, just really good movements from Akashi himself to keep this relatively close.
Oh yeah, for sure. It feels like, Monkey King with the Battle Fury, by now he should be, well, he's not saying he should be, but he's definitely going to be farming faster now. He's going to get this stack off as well. And it looks like for KPII, as some people called him. He does have the Guardian. He went for the Guardian Greaves just to make sure he can dispel some of these abilities that are coming out. The Cold Snap, the Urn, they're not so much, I guess, but those are the things he wants to get rid of. The Open Wounds as well. I think that is dispelled. Yes, it is dispelled. So that would be great to remove.
Yeah, it definitely would.
KP.
Oh, his charge got cancelled. Nicely timed there from Mac, and that is going to cause KP's death for sure. I mean, there's actually quite a lot of people rotating down right now. 5 heroes from Polaris do end up coming on into the area, which maybe was a little bit of overkill, not going to lie. But it looks like actually maybe Fnatic with Armel and Gabby looking to see if they can get a potential grab here onto Kashi right now. Walks directly underneath. They're going to start it off with the Flame and Lasso, locking in place in the Ruscon's command. There goes his first life. Can Polaris mount some sort of defense? But actually, Fnatic not interested in sticking around. Getting the Aegis, that's a win in their books.
Yeah, he still had the Rage available, so they're like, we're not going to kill him twice. They lose Jean well, though, so Fnatic, couple of kills, a good D-ward for Polaris as well. And oh, they get the Aegis off, but I don't feel like it's something that Polaris really cared about. That was the farming Aegis. It gives the Akashi a +1 life in case he ends up in a bad position. He did, and now he just goes back to farming. Oh, sorry, he's actually going back to the mid lane. They want to take this tier 2. Pretty bold. They know the Wukong is down, and so is the lasso. So I guess this is an opening that they're willing to exploit.
Yeah, it's going to go for it right now. Look how quickly these builders are dropping there. But even still, in comes Fnatic. They want to try and defend it. Connection immediately on towards the lifestealer. Can they keep him alive? It doesn't look so. He's just gone. BKB from Gabby, allowing him to just run on in. Bot has to walk it off, and Fnatic say, yeah, you guys can leave. We've got your lifestealer. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, we were saying it, right? I assumed you'd just go farm. I wasn't even looking. I was like, oh, he's going to go farm now. But then I see him in the middle. I'm like, that's pretty bold. That's a bit risky. Yes, the enemy team does not have 2 of their ultimates, but your Aegis is... It's a pretty important part for the lifestealer. And he loses his life in that situation. That's, again... I'm sorry.
I was going to say, it's also getting caught out. We use his rage to just guarantee hits onto the tower, and yeah, Fnatic like, okay, well there's no magic immune anymore, and just easily able to lock him down.
It's not the worst deal, right? Even though Polaris, they did lose a little bit from that. They lost a tower as well as their kill on their death on their carry. It's not the biggest deal. That was a farming Aegis. It gave them a bit of time. It's the next what they do after this that matters.
Looks like they're attempting some sort of play right now. They got the infested up Jing, but still doesn't actually have a completed BKB yet for this party. It's not the easiest frontliner. And actually, yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm done. Akashi's bored of sitting in there and wants to start hitting creeps again. Standard position 1 things.
And it's long infestations. Is that what we call it? Can we call that long duration infests? Not fun for life. So you always think, should I be farming? Should I be farming now? Are we gonna go there? Oh, we're smoking. Okay, we're smoking. So that's another 40 seconds of no farm. It's the antithesis of what the carry player wants to do.
Yeah, definitely. They're not hitting creeps. It feels like they're just wasting their own time. Unless it's a hero. Maybe they might be interested, but not all of them though. Maybe still 3k gold advantage for Fnatic. I think this is the first time we've also seen Gabby at the top of the net worth, overtaking Akashi now. But still, it is just like 100 gold separated too, so it's still just very neck and neck. Yeah, just the other 2 cores on the side of Polaris that are tailing behind. It looks like we might get treated to another fight right now. Smoke's gonna break there from Mac because he was invis. And Armel, he thought he was up on the high ground. He actually just broke Gabby's tree. If there was a ward there, they could have... Actually, there was a ward. It did get spotted, but no one from Polaris is actually close enough.
Now we know why they're going to be leaving the org, right? Gabby's like, I'm not going to play with the guy who cuts my own trees.
Definitely not. KP playing very aggressive right now. Just managed to find the Invoker. DJ getting involved. Nearly managing to bring down Map with the BKB. Barely able to survive. KP having to pop his own. And now in full retreat. So it ends up just being a trade of those 9-second durations.
Yeah.
Both fresh BKBs.
A little bit unfortunately, right? I think that we had the Fate Bolt available on DJ. I'm not quite sure if he was maybe out of range, but it could have been a kill on Mac. Maybe if we watched the replay, we'd be like, oh, no, he didn't have it. A little unfortunate. Either way, he's got the 8 times, he's got the million. DJ is farmed. He is less than 2,000 gold behind the Invoker. Remember, oftentimes we just see the Invoker being one of the top. He did not go for the Hand of Midas. He went for this fast Witchblade. It does not feel like it's worked out for them.
No, definitely not. There's lots of space for Fnatic to work with right now, but Polaris looking for a potential gank right now. KP's found his BKB still on cooldown 40 seconds, so just that global leech range. Yeah, there's no way to avoid that for the old Primal Beast.
Yeah, poor KP, but that's his job, you know. He's the off laner. He's 4, 3, and 5. He gave Gabby some time to farm the top lane, so it's all good for them. And Gabby, he's got the Crystallis. He's going for the Scotty. Feels really scary for Polaris to deal with him.
It definitely is. And still, looks like everyone's just sort of trying to split on the side of Fnatic, just getting farm here where they can. It seems like Polaris are the ones that are trying to force the issue more. I guess it's that every single time Infest is off cooldown, they're just going to go for this little bomb technique inside of Jing and look for a fight, especially if they've got the XO, of course. I mean, it's like you were saying in the previous series, you know, with the Enigma, if you're not really using the ultimate enough, then you've got all this sort of wasted downtime where the skill is just kind of useless. So it definitely makes sense Polaris using those abilities as much as they possibly can.
True, but Infest is an interesting ability to do because when you're doing that, infesting into an ally, you're not farming, right? So it's one of those, wasted cooldown. It's not exactly wasted cooldown. It's like more on Bach to use the ecosystem effectively, because the window for Bach is getting smaller and smaller. You have the Death Prophet, a hero that doesn't scale very well late game. We have seen it, farm up and be a beast late game, but this is not what Bach's doing. He's not scaling. Mac as well is the poorest among the cores. So Polaris, it's really going to be all on Akashi if this keeps up. Two of their cards are starting to sort of slide backwards.
They definitely are. It's like that classic bit of, you just put one hero on top of 4 people's shoulders and you expect them to do all the work and carry the game for you. And it definitely does start to feel like that for Akashi, as you were saying. Next, Roshan, maximum respawn time.
Aww.
So, not going to see that anytime soon.
That's too bad. In the meantime, Fnatic just slightly out farming them, playing the map a little bit better so far. CML is going top. One thing what Polaris could do is that they could just play a bit more aggressively in the lanes, right? I like what CML does, going top, just pushing it all the way to the tower. If he dies, he dies. He doesn't care. Like that's his job as a position 5. They do ping out Armel. He's got the BKB. Jing is he's infested. Do they really want to go for him? And he's way all the way back. Radiant, they use the scan, thinking he might be around, but no. Armel, he booked it like 12 seconds ago.
Yeah, it was a good read to realise that gank was coming after him and able to evade death yet again. Just to be able to keep their advantage as long as they possibly can. Now 5,000 gold, and I'm sure Roshan is just going to be the next main objective. Like both teams know that he could be up literally any second right now. But it's still another 2 minutes off. And really the only ward we have in the general area of the Roche pit is one on the side of Polaris on the high ground. But we'll probably see some more appearing momentarily.
We're going to see a smoke coming out from Fnatic. It doesn't seem like they have one. No, they don't. So for them to go to engage Polaris, they'll be detected. Like you mentioned, that ward right there, so we'll spot them. So Fnatic, they want to defend, but it's not a fun situation to defend in that. Either you TP all there, there's risks, or you just walk away. So you walk into it and across vision, there's risks in that situation as well.
Yeah, it definitely is. And
smoke
CML's
finally
just
coming.
got killed. They killed CML's Curry in the triangle, so already Polaris do realise that is the location of Fnatic, and just saw both teams posturing on opposite sides right now around this Roche pit, just waiting for the opportunity of someone to potentially step out of position and run into them, but both teams are playing very cautiously right now. Don't want to make the first move, and I say that, and Polaris do actually go for this smoke.
Oh, there's vision.
Xing charged up high ground. He's underneath this ward right now. It's going to be a perfect opportunity. Marcy could just get deleted before this fight even begins. One with Kiss is also ready now, but Armel pops the BKB. So does Gabby. This is a perfect Wukong's command positioning right now. Armel's getting low, but still with the heals. Everyone from Polaris has to try and run away, disengage outside of that radius, and somehow nobody actually gets picked off and punished for it. Januel in some danger right now, drops the ultimate to see if he can do anything at all. Unfortunately, will still die, but it is a trade of supports right now. Short range charge from KP. Gabby now getting beaten into. He's trying to heal up with the Jingu stacks. Manages to bring down Bok, and now Akashi maybe thinks he's overstepped his mark. Tries to infest inside of Jing, but it does not last for long. Still end up dropping down. Akashi controlled up. Nice deafening blast from Mac, but it just makes no difference at all. And eventually, Mac will just be ran down. 5 people dead there for Polaris, and somehow Fnatic don't lose anybody.
For the John, well, he did buy back, so technically they lost the CM. You always, there's a CM tax to winning the game. You always have to pay with that, but they just go straight for the Roche. That was such a good fight for Fnatic. They were able to get, they had the vision of the cliff, and Gabby threw an amazing Wukong in that area where it's like, oh, we can't really fight there, forcing them to disengage. John Well was able to delay a couple of seconds, forcing them to use the silence on him because he had the freezing field, and buys back right after. Like, you invest resources to kill the Crystal Main, she buys back, with her ultimate also expanded. So, Polaris, that is a massive loss for them. The second the second Aegis and a team wipe, And their lineup, like we said, it's just not scaling. It's just not. Gabby's by himself can take on those 3 cores.
Yeah, I mean, like before that fight as well, what was it? It was around a 5,000-6,000 gold lead,
Yep.
and somehow it just skyrockets up to 15k. Yeah, absolutely massive. And yeah, like you were saying, with the perfect placement of Gabby's ultimate, it also forced Polaris to split. Like, they all went in different directions. One went towards Roshan pit, the other went towards the shop, other people went down towards the mid-tier 2, and yeah, that just allowed Fnatic to start picking people off one by one. And yeah, so, you know, that's a good way of winning. Divide and conquer. It's a proven theory.
And that's always the fun part, right? When a big ultimate lands, everyone's forced to go in a different direction. Because what we saw was like Bach, he had to go north, and everyone else was like, oh, we gotta go south in these different directions. Everyone's gotta exit the Wukong from a different place. Oh, Armel, back. Sorry.
Top of the box. It's a free kill. They do commit 2 ultimates for that, but regardless, it's going to be tier 2. Oh, actually, jumping forward there from KP, found the other ones. Buyback forced out from Bot, but the Monkey King's trying to stand his ground right now, but Gabby might end up dropping, has the Aegis at the very least. See if they can do anything with the second life. There is the Telekinesis trying to make some space, but he will still die. Bot running around with the Exo, in comes the people, but KP making good space with the charge. It's probably going to cost him his own life, but it gave the space for Gabby to disengage. Armel actually also being caught right now from the cold snap. Even whipped in place, trying to slow him down. Armel, nice, finally able to get the BKB off. DJ there with the Telekinesis throwing him backwards. And eventually, okay, Armel will manage to escape. So, it's a trade of offlaners, but there was actually a buyback forced out from Polaris and Exorcism used.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And, so yeah, the gold network change is relatively even. Obviously, the Aegis being removed as well is a big factor to take in. Gabby's not going to have that safety net to play versus later on. But lucky for him, Wukong's command cooldown is pretty damn short. I believe Otomo may have disconnected again. This poor man's internet is very unfortunate. So, back to the solo cast for now. I still feel like there's a weird little rule with the neutral items that whenever like 2 people find a neutral item at exactly the same time, it's nearly always the same item. I don't know how it works. It's like some weird little timer, roll randomer kind of thing. It's very odd how it works, but I just see it again and again. It is pretty damn odd. When I talk about the neutrals, is Fnatic now going for another 4-man smoke. Scan doesn't connect, but they might end up running into either Bok or Jing if they decide to just charge across the lane, and that they do. Gabby in the front, smoke does break there onto Jing, going to be able to find the Marcy, wants to try and find a teammate to rebound off of, and it is going to be there. Meanwhile, Armel charging in, wants to get the grab onto Bok. Kind of surprised he didn't use the flame break to push him back into his flaming lasso radius, but he didn't quite able to do it. Instead, though, might be an opportunity for Polaris to try and look for a fight themselves.
Armel without buyback, without the BKB makes it a bit of an opening for them. Or they could find just a juicy Jean. Well, getting the Crystal Maiden out would be nice.
Trying to find Jean, can't find it. But there is that Ags reveal there for the Snapfire. The gobble up spell onto Jing. You know, that's what I was saying earlier on the draft. You know, just throw 2 of your main heroes into the backlines to kill those supports as fast as possible. But doesn't quite end up finding anything this time. And then Fnatic, looking like they might be grouping up yet again. Well, at least they're staying in the general vicinity of each other. You know, if anyone finds the opportunity to go for a kill, the rest of the team is not going to be far away to actually try and capitalize on it and get that potential pickup. And Gabby just shoving in towards the tier 3, going to send the creeps running at it. And just up to Polaris to see which sort of threat they have to address. And sort of having to turtle in their base right now, just feeling really afraid to step on out. Obviously, they know there's no Aegis to play versus, and they realise they are behind, but yeah, they're pretty not eager at trying to force any fights right now. Maybe they're just waiting for Infest to come back up and maybe try and look for another pickoff.
The best thing for Polaris to do, just get a quick kill on someone, go back, try to open up the map a little bit, and it's not too hard, right? You do have a couple of squishy targets in the Rubik and the Crystal Maiden. Even Barrett, if you can get good on top of him. I mean, he's not that squishy, but he's only got 10 armor and 2300 health. Like, you can chew through that. Mac,
Yeah,
he might get chews.
Danger, Bounder strikes up in a second. Ooh, it looks like Gabby didn't quite want to commit
Radiant's
for it though.
bottom tower
A
is
little bit
under
of luck
attack.
there for the old Invoker, but they are infested up with the Jing, looking for the gobble up. CML's firing in. Where does it land? Unfortunate to nobody again.
Oh,
Rebound trying to fish after Gabby there, but still, the elusive monkey just can't get caught.
the link is fair on Mac makes it so that he's not a good target. You want to be able to jump with the barrel and catch him, but not suitable. Unfortunately, it doesn't mean he gets more damage, right? He's got Linkosphere, BKB. Those don't give you damage. His damage is coming out from what? His right click with the Witchblade, as well as the Urn, and so, you know, I mean, obviously his Invoker, he's got spells, but it's not getting like a Hex for control, or an Aghanim's for Cataclysm, or even a Boots of Travel. He's to just go be more active around the map. He is gonna go for Hex next, though. Much needed, though. Holy moly, do they need it.
Yeah, that'll be a good bit of extra lockdown. Like, who would they have to prioritize that? Is it just the Monkey King to get Hex
Yes.
onto first? Yeah.
Yes.
Lock down
Uh,
Gabby as much as possible.
Because you could kill him in that time, right? Like there's a problem with the Rubik lift being able to save him, but it is what it is, right? You just gotta throw it on Gab because if he lives, there's no way you're winning the fight. Like he is just too big.
Yeah, definitely. And already, he's full 8,000 gold ahead of Akashi now on his lifestealer. This is definitely a big fat monkey boy. And he's got Daedalus, Basher, Skadi, BKB, another 2k gold sat in his pocket. Do you think that's just going to become a Abyssal Blade?
It's gonna be buyback first, right? It's still you're still in quite a risk if you're like, oh, there's the jump you want.
Oh, well, they found Bogler. It's the this chance to try and turn this fight around. All the BKBs get popped. Gabby putting his armor down, forcing Jing to disengage. Unfortunately for Bok, he runs in the complete opposite direction, trapped on his own.
Oh,
Akashi,
Akashi?
he just comes flying through the air. He's like, I want a bit of this action. He's trying to run away. He's probably pinging the hell out of CML right now for putting him in such an awkward situation.
What?
But KP, what an ultimate, locking everyone down. There's going to be the infest, trying to run away. Mac desperately getting into the base, but Fnatic just don't want to allow anybody to survive. Mac's going to fall. Akashi with his rage off of cooldown, trying to trade onto our mail, but the 4-star's making a bit of space. The tower's nearly finished him, but it's not enough. A buyback from Mac as well, but it doesn't do anything. Oh my lord. What an absolute fantastic fight there from Fnatic.
I want to say I agree with that, but also CML throwing in lifesteal that situation, you've already lost Bok. Like maybe there was a bit of delay by the time you land there, but it felt like Bok was dead to rise. He had gone to the wrong direction. I don't think that's the first time either. And he loses his life, and Polaris, they're like, yes, this is what we want to throw our carry into. And the moment Akashi lands, he was like, no, get me out, and they try their best, but he still loses his life. And this is going to be one lane of racks for Fnatic. Oh dear, if the Invoker dies.
Try to get his gravel to Mac, but at least able to disengage this time. Meanwhile, Gabby changing over towards CML, but still KP just forcing back into the base right now, slowing down the Primal Beast, but still with the 4-staffs, he's able to disengage and just ends up being another free kill. But, yeah, wait, you say when they just threw in Akashi, that's one of those moments where the lifestealer probably wasn't looking at his character, he was looking somewhere else, and all of a sudden he's like, wait, what, where the hell am I? It's just thrown in deep. Meanwhile, another engagement going on right now. KP's on with this time getting this cut down pretty damn short, and still, Gabby's taking a fair bit of damage, manages to get the Wukong's command off at the very least, he's getting low, just getting forced off around, but with the Boundless, they're able to turn it around, and GG is cool. Polaris are done, and for good reason. And that is Fnatic taking the first game of this best of 3.
Very convincingly so, it looked like it was kind of decent for Polaris at the beginning of the game. You're like, oh, it's not so bad for them. They recovered really well after Mac he got first blooded by Armel, and you think, okay, it's going to look decent, but Akashi was the only one really farming it later on. You can see that both Bok and Mac were trying to make space, but it wasn't working out for them. We weren't seeing a lot of these exorcisms to get those tier 2s. We got a few tier 1s drop. That was nice, but Fnatic didn't feel very pressured, and Gabby on the Monkey King. The second time we've seen, I think it's the second time in a row, he's just looked absolutely phenomenal. You see the Crystal Maid come out, you know it's going to be paired up with a pretty strong melee hero. You pick the Monkey King, feels like it was almost over at that stage of the game. I mean, maybe not over, but it's still very powerful.
Yeah, it really, really is. Like, he's just way too big to deal with, and it's all like went against what Polaris wanted to try and do. Like with the whole lifestealer plan, they just wanted to infest Jing and throw him in there with CML, but they just weren't actually able to pull that combo off once in that entire game. Like, I don't think the like the goblet spit out, whatever the hell it's called, actually even connected on a single hero, which is, you know, pretty unfortunate. Maybe a little bit of unluckiness as well factoring into it, but you know, it is just game number 1. Polaris can definitely start bouncing back and adjust for the next one.
Yep, I mean, Fnatic, remember, this is their swan song. They want to go for as long as possible. Polaris, if they lose, they're out of the tournament. They make it to top 4. It's nice and all, but you definitely want to go further here. And the winner will go up against Blacklist International. So, Fnatic, can they hang on for one more? Can they make it to one more series? Would be nice to see. Polaris Esports, this is a Division 1 team. This is the teams that, you know, you're going to be up against this caliber and better if you continue to do well in your Division 2. So, they gotta be able to at least get something out of Fnatic.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at least even if they made that game pretty close, that could have been, you know, a little victory in itself. But it did just really seem like the Fnatic show. There wasn't much that Polaris could do to stop them, and yeah, ended up just getting a run over. But game number 2, guys, in about 10 minutes' time, and we will see, you know, potentially the conclusion of the series, or Polaris bouncing back and taking it to a 3rd game. Only time will tell. So we will see you then.